For a very long time, I have personally wanted to talk about the subject of my video today because as Karakana Online, we have handled a lot of activities around the Kenya's creative industry that have made us have a front row view of the challenges that are facing artists and creatives in Kenya. And there is also a strategic shift that we are making as Karakana Online, where for the rest of 2026, we want to give much more attention to what some of you may call the digital media industry or the creator economy or the content industry. But then, before we do that, which will be video number 2, I would like first to address some problems, some challenges, some drawbacks that artists and creatives are facing in Kenya, which we honestly believe can be solved, can be squarely handled through content creation or through digital marketing or through social media and other platforms kind of marketing. For the longest time, I mean, even now as we record this, jana mafuta imepanda, a lot of problems that have come into the industry because of the US-Iran war and the ripple effect of just the fear of a full-blown war. Of course, the Middle East, the instability, everything just brings a lot of challenges. But even before we got there, artists and creatives for decades in Kenya, in Africa, in the developing part of the world, some people may want to say the global south, have been struggling. But then what we don't seem to know is that the creative economy is the biggest beneficiary of the opportunities of the new monetization models that the creator economy or the digital media industry has brought. Social media, online media has brought a lot of opportunities. And we as artists and creatives in Kenya need to appreciate the fact that if only we were deliberate, if only we were strategic, if only we were aggressive, if only we took time and the effort to create content about what we do, where we do it, whom we do it with, for what kind of audiences, we just create content and let it out there and be very aggressive in terms of digital marketing, I think we are greatly going to improve the kind of money that we make, not just money within Kenya, but create for ourselves opportunity outside into the region of Africa and the continent of Africa, and even globally. So I won't take a lot of time. For a few minutes, I want to just go through around some of the six main problems that we are facing as artists and creatives in Kenya, which I believe that if only we did much more content creation, we will have solved it and given ourselves, as we say, thriving, successful careers for artists and creatives. First and foremost, most of us, we are invisible, we are not known, our work is not known. We are great at our work, but we are invisible to our target audience. Great work, but people don't know that you have great work. That's a very serious problem. But guess what? If only we took a little bit more time, if only we put a little bit more energy and started creating content, taking some videos, having a website, having an up-to-date portfolio, put those reels even on YouTube Shorts, write a few articles here and there, do some little features about your work, show us your face as you work. I think we are going to help ourselves to be more visible, to be more known. So right now we are invisible, but if you created content, if you are more active on your digital media, I believe the content that you create is going to be working for you even when you're sleeping. If you have a website, it's going to be marketing you when you're sleeping. If you're active on all social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, have a small blog, be on LinkedIn, be on Instagram, be everywhere. I think the social media and the website, they will be talking on your behalf, even when you're sleeping, even when you're resting, even when you go hiking. Those three, they are going to multiply, they are going to scale your target audience. If physically you're meeting 15, 20 clients in a month, how many more can you meet if you're online and you're active, if you post every day? So it means that content creation is going to help us to become very visible and most likely even visible to the target audience that you're looking for. You know, some of us are still relying on word of mouth and reference from your few past clients. And the over-reliance on that means that it's very unpredictable. It is slow. If you're waiting for your 10 past clients to get you the next clients, I think then your monetization, your revenue is going to move very, very slowly. But then imagine if, the other day I met somebody who was telling me, artists don't come to our gallery anymore because in the gallery they will have 20 guests, but when they post online, they will have 1,000, 4,000, 5,000 views. And from there, they'll be able to get at least 2, 3, 4 sales per day. So why should they come to our gallery? It's too much work. What does that mean? It means that if you want to move faster, if you want a bigger audience, if you want even to target, some of you can even afford to pay for targeted ads on social media and elsewhere. It means you'll be able to reach more people. It means you'll be able to multiply. The advantage of social media and digital media is that it can multiply the distribution of what you do, the work you do. If you have fashion pieces to sell, if you have paintings to sell, whatever your target audience is, it will move faster and it will move to a much bigger audience. So start creating your content today. One of the things that content creation will help us artists and creatives to do is to position ourselves seriously. Content creation will make you start seriously thinking about the work that you do. It will make you strategize. It will make you very deliberate. You will even start thinking better about your personal brand. And what does that do? It means as a creative, you start getting into storytelling. You'll start getting into positioning yourself better. So it helps to counter, number one, undervaluing your work, and also attracting clients that want to pay you little money. Because the moment you start creating content, then people will be in a better position to see the value of your work. Whether it's fashion, whether it's illustration, whether it's paintings, whether it's graphic design, whether it's photos, whether it's video, whether it's dance. The moment you start creating content, and it is very deliberate, it is strategic, it is well thought out, and it is professional. I mean, you can still be creative and still be professional and artistic. Then it means you will position yourself much higher than you would on a normal day. And that means that you will be escaping, you'll be running away from the temptation to charge less money. And also it will be much harder for your clients to want to pay you little money. So it is important that we start thinking about how to strengthen our positioning on social media, on digital media, our online presence, your website, your blog, your online portfolio. And that way, ile pesa utalipwa, it is going to be much better than if you didn't have a strong online presence. A lot of us artists and creatives we have a problem attracting the right clients because we are random, we are not deliberate, we're just there. We do not take time to think maybe about a niche, a specific target audience, a style of communicating, a style of presenting ourselves. So we go with the flow. So what does that mean? It means you attract everybody and you retain nobody. But then the moment you are very focused about the kind of content that you churn out, it means that you will start aligning yourself with the right kind of opportunities. And when that happens, then it becomes much easier because you take time consistently to communicate in a certain way, to package your work in a certain way, to work in a specific way, and to target certain specific kind of clientele. Then it becomes very easy for opportunities that are fitting with your work to find you. So, and by the time you're converting your clients for your specific kind of work, half of the work is done by the content that you churn out. So the consistency, the niche that you define is going to deal with the problem of us as artists and creatives, not attracting the clients that are befitting to the kind of work that we create. I have mentioned it before that sisi wasanii, we always find ourselves in what is called between feast and famine. The kind of work where we have a single source of income, is a very fragile kind of scenario. It's financially stressful. Depending on one source of income kama msanii is very very financially stressful, inatuletea tu hata karibu tukaribie depression. But then imagine if you start creating content. This may not be for everybody, but for most of us, if you start creating content, then you're opening up yourself for more revenue stream. I mean, you can do digital products, you can do workshops, you can do speaking engagements, you can do licensing, you can do brand endorsement. I think even some of us already, as creatives, you're already monetizing things like YouTube and Facebook, especially those who have a big following. So the moment you start creating content and you're good at it and you're deliberate and it is well thought out and planned, I believe that you'll be able to have much more income streams other than just the main thing that you do as an artist or creative. The last challenge that I want to talk about is as artists and creatives in this country, for the longest time, we have not had control of our career direction, control of our work, control of our businesses, because we tend to sit and wait for phone calls. We tend to sit to be called for a gig. We tend to sit to be called for an event. We tended to sit and wait for someone to tell us, I need you to create or design this for me. But the moment you start creating content, the moment you have a vibrant online and social media presence, it means that you're already cutting a path, you're beating a path for your career, for your business, for your freelancing, for your consulting. And it means that then you start heading in a specific direction, and then everything starts aligning itself. And even you have communities, it means even that people become familiar with the kind of products or services that you offer. And when that happens, then it means you're much more in control, and there will be much more satisfaction, there will be much more clarity, there will be much more better client service. Everything will be way better because now you're deliberate. You take time to think before you create a piece of art. You take time to think before you post it. You take time to think before you write a blog article. You take time to think before you record a video. You take time to think before you take a picture. You take time to think before you conceptualize your art and creativity. What that means is that there will be much more order in your career. And so we will also have ran away from the issue of having career that is too random, that is neither here nor there. It is too fluid and unplanned. So it is important that we get very, 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 very laser focused when it comes to creating content. So that's it. I didn't want this video to be very long because it was like just a prelude to the main video that I will be sharing in the next 1 or 2 weeks here on Karakana Online. And remember that we are always striving to share with you guys information, knowledge, insights, so that we can have thriving careers, so that we can have successful careers, so that we can have fulfilling careers. But then that cannot happen if we are still struggling to make money, if we are still struggling with basics, if we are still struggling to find a solid, confident footing in the bigger economy of this country, just as the artist and creative economy in Kenya, in Africa, and globally. So it is important that we start at that point. Even to mention that for myself, nimekuwa nikijiuliza, we've been creating content for other people. I mean, I have done for almost 2 decades, actually over 2 decades, graphic design work. I've done videography, I've done photography, I have done writing, I have done publishing, but then podcasts and all those live streams, lakini sisi tunajifanyia wenyewe. So I had to call myself a kamkutano, and I'm here to be brutally honest with the artists and creatives in this country. Jiite kamkutano if you are not creating content for yourself to position yourself better, higher, more premium, higher priced, more focused. For most of you, even niche focused. You start creating digital content, social content, start doing something on YouTube, start doing something on TikTok, start doing something on WhatsApp and Facebook. And this is going to help you to deal with a lot of the challenges that we are facing now and create more opportunity for us to make money. So this sets the pace for the next video, which will be much longer, which will be much deeper, which will be much more detailed, where I'm going to be sharing much more of a complete guidance on how, as artists and creatives in Kenya, we need to take advantage of digital media to position ourselves. And it's going to be more like a how-to kind of video on how we need to utilize social media content to position ourselves for opportunity, to align ourselves with the kind of clientele we need, and to help us have focus and clarity as artists and creatives in this country. So until the next video, bye-bye, and keep sharing, keep commenting. Tell us what you think on the comment section below, and we shall be sure to interact and engage with you. Kwaheri.